Hi, this is Lucky McGee, director, writer of this movie you're about to watch. And I'm here with, to my left, starting at my left.
This is Benji. I did a little craft service on the movie. Provided snacks, beverages, what have you.
And next to Benji.
This is Jay Barnes-Luckett. I was the composer and music supervisor and all-around cheerleader.
And my number one confidant.
This is Leslie Keel, production designer, and I baked Susie.
Made Susie by hand.
Baked Susie by hand.
Oh. And then...
And this is Ryan Johnson. I was one of many editors on the movie.
Chief editor, Ryan Johnson.
Oh, baby.
And this is May.
Hi, Mama. The doctor said.
So, what do you guys think? Come on, it's always hard to get started on these things.
So far, so
I act
good.
like I'm such a veteran so far. This is actually Leslie's house right here.
We also shot
Thanks for the
some
confirmation.
deleted scenes as well in my house.
Yeah, we're going to try to pull out some deleted scenes. The childhood stuff was a lot more extensive in the beginning, but
Trying to remember how long the childhood.
it was about 8 minutes. It was about 8 minutes long, I think.
Yeah.
And featured May's father. Actually, was more prominent in the story, but we figured just the stuff with the mother got the point across and got us to Angela a lot quicker. So.
Best night's sleep I ever got. I wish we could have shot the whole film there.
So sad.
Real talkative today, guys. It's Cinco de Mayo, so everybody's rearing up for the big party tonight.
Well, since there's music here, I'll just say that
I've always said.
this was actually one of the last things that was written and recorded for the movie. We did it in about 6 days. Circumstances didn't permit us to record for much longer than that, but that's it. You'll
This is like
hear
the main theme, yeah.
Yeah, it uses a lot of different pieces of music that you'll hear throughout the film, right here.
What were we eating this day on the set, Benji?
It's notable that the gentleman that played the father here had a pointed allergy to peanuts and wasn't able to provide any, no snacks with peanut that day. And I had bought a bunch of Cracker Jacks at the Smart and Final on Melrose. And it was a no-go, so it was tough. It was a tough run that day. That's what springs to mind right now.
Think of my pirate patch.
Let's talk about the development of Susie, Leslie.
Oh, wow.
How did it start for you?
Susie. It started with you, Lucky. Actually, I think that's the first meeting we ever had. That was pretty much the first thing we talked about. And Susie was kind of actually a combination of Angela. I think Angela was... Well,
Most people
originally,
say it looks like you, though.
Yeah, but,
It's a lot smaller than you.
Yeah.
yeah. A couple
is
trips
true.
to the tanning salon and, got stretched and
But
here I am.
our main influence would be
Walter Keane.
Walter Keane and
Yeah.
the doll. My mom actually has a doll named Susie that she still owns to this day. That has really creepy blue eyes. And we kind of used those as jumping off points. Did a bunch of drawings and stuff like that. And then Leslie, how long did it take you to make this thing, Leslie?
The doll actually didn't take too long to make. Actually, I remember that we were trying to make a double. So during production, we started making a double. And then after a while, we realized that I had so many other things to do. We kind of had to put that on hold.
Didn't you end up burning some stuff in the oven or something like that?
She was burnt. Actually, she was black. Like certain parts of her were black. So we ended up just spray painting the whole thing and painting some of the features on. But it wasn't too hard. It was made of Fimo. You just bake it in the oven. As far as sculpting it, it went pretty fast. Like once we had already done our preliminary sketches and everything, I think I did one large bust of Susie in clay, and then after I started with the Fimo, maybe I don't know, a couple days maybe. Actually, not really. I mean, it was a couple days that I worked on her, but as far as hours, I guess maybe 10 or 12 hours altogether.
Amazing. And the dress actually was made by our costume designer.
Yeah. Really
and this
cool.
is a really complicated shot right here. This is I think we
Papa.
talked about this last time, actually.
Papa Mike.
My dad's cameo. Originally, this part was going to be played by John Furia, my mentor at USC during filmic writing, but scheduling wouldn't allow it, so Dad got the part.
And I'll have to say also that Mike McGee made many things happen behind the scenes. Me personally helped me a lot.
He was, you know, like
He was kind
much
of
like you. He was the ultimate cheerleader. He just kept
Yeah.
everyone together, and you know, he was the papa of the whole family. You know,
Yeah, he was
gave everyone so much encouragement.
for me the real producer of the film
Yeah,
and of my life.
producer of Lucky.
That's true.
And I love these shades here. I used to have to wear those things when I was a little kid. They dilate my eyes at the eye doctor, and I always thought they were the goofiest looking thing, so totally appropriate for poor little May.
Great,
Bilsons.
great song.
So
pick.
how many
Great
cartons
song
of
pick.
Bilsons did we have on set? Benji?
Benji?
9. We had 9.
And actually, it was Benji who decided that we, instead of using a hot dog, we'd use a chili dog. He
Yeah,
added the chili.
Yeah.
Now, who we have, Jeremy Thistow, you may recognize him from, he was in a film called Clueless, another film called Hideaway. Now, ladies, a little behind-the-scenes tidbit. If you want to, he's got a big appetite. It's fun to know. If you ladies want to win yourselves a place in Jeremy's heart, jalapeno poppers. That's what I found.
It's totally true.
Jalapeno poppers. You keep the pocket full of them. It's like a lucky charm. Every day.
And that led to the explosive gas that we talk about on the other commentary track.
That was the meth. That was the meth.
I missed that commentary track. It's too bad. Were you guys talking about gas, or there just seemed to be a lot of gas?
Oh no, you got to hear the other commentary track.
Looking forward to it. This guy was a barrel of laughs.
Talk about this set,
Who was
Leslie.
this guy again? Oh, this set was, well, it was Richard Middleton brought us to,
Our line producer, Richard.
yes,
Middleton.
our line producer, Richard Middleton, brought us to 102 South Broadway, which was pretty much
Downtown.
the cheapest location we could find. It was
It was free.
it was free.
pretty cheap.
It was free, and pretty much had no furniture or, it had walls, which is great.
And
but
lots
for
of files.
It had lots of files in like other rooms, so I'd like beg, borrow, and steal from other rooms and kind of, pull stuff together. But yeah, it was cool. It was like at the beginning, it was just appalling to me that we couldn't find a vet clinic, so we just ended up building one.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Totally worked out.
And a little bit of trivia nobody seems to notice. Nobody has ever mentioned it, but a little discontinuity with Angela's glasses there.
Ah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Who's that
Lucky
guy? Of
McGee.
being a director.
That's your sister, right?
Yeah. I didn't want it to get out this way, but sis, I love you.
Evidently.
And he's like, get me out of here.
So talk
Crack
about the
number one.
lovely Kim Deal for us, Jay.
Kim Deal is a goddess like none other. She's actually one of the reasons why Lucky and I bonded when we first met. I think it was always intended that the breeders would be using this. We're big Pixies fans and breeders and amps. And I don't know. We were very fortunate to be able to use these songs, hers and Kelly Deal's, in this movie. So if you're listening, Deal sisters, we love you and we thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I haven't seen Angela in so long. Just seeing her face makes me like smile. It's so cool to see her again.
She's a blonde now.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Really? Wow. Sexy blonde.
Now she's directing me.
That's cool. Lucky acting. That's really cool.
It's very good too.
Clamato.
Yeah.
we get
That was
sued
my
for
work.
that?
That was my work.
That was
got
your
a-
We had a huge
Clamato was?
I got
Clamato
a sponsorship
sponsorship.
deal from Clamato.
We all drank Bloody Marys every morning. And keep going.
You see a slight bulge in the pocket there, poppers. previously discussed.
Did you ever have
Breads.
anything going with V8?
V8 doesn't want to work with me. There was an incident on a past set, Steve Guttenberg film. It was a horrible accident. V8.
That's the joke.
You never got the balance he was looking for.
This part right here was originally, I don't know if I talked about, I can't remember what I talked about on the last track, but anyways, this part was originally supposed to be a distraught old man. And Brett was horribly disappointed that we did not credit him at the end of the film as distraught old man in that office.
Yeah. He's actually
You can see
playing his own
Angela
murderer
just
now.
about to crack up at the end of that shot right there, actually.
Another great costume. Great shirt. Did you ever get to do a commentary with the costume designers?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And there's our foreign distribution right there.
It's a favorite in the editing room.
Yeah, it's a freeze frame.
I'll have to say here,
Yeah,
this
this
song is one
Prowler.
of one of several songs in the film that was just recorded on a 4-track in my bedroom, actually. And we just happened to put it in. We added a couple of little guitar parts with myself and the engineer, Angelo Metz, and that's it.
Yeah, and we totally tricked the DTS guys with that one. They didn't know it was a 4-track.
The brilliant work of Leslie Keel, production designer.
Yeah, on location.
This location was genius. I didn't do a thing. I was like, wow, looks good.
Yeah, it was our
Walked
first
out.
day. Yeah. The first day had to be one of your easiest days, actually.
Yeah.
I would think, but you
Yeah,
were
it was
busy
great.
prepping everything else.
Yeah, it gave me some time to work on other stuff, but it was a great location. It was nice to be outside too. I know that we were all trying to grab that last bit of sunshine.
Yeah, it was a very claustrophobic shoot.
Yeah.
Anybody that's in LA, you should go to this place called the Coffee Table. They have great sandwiches and Jones soda.
It's such a nice plug.
I don't work there, but have you ever partaken of that, Benji?
I think it's horseshit.
What do you mean, horseshit?
They gave me a lot of attitude. They didn't appreciate. I remember this shoot day vividly. I'd gotten some discount mahi steaks from Trader Joe's that had expired about a week earlier. It was a Guerilla filmmaking, low budget. Trying to save everybody some money, and they gave me some attitude saying people would get sick, and I told them it's not their place, and they banned me. It's that simple.
So we took care of sugar and creamer on this day. That was about it.
It hurt.
It hurt.
It hurt. It still bleeds.
We still loved you though.
This was Ryan. This is the first scene you cut together, right?
Yeah, because we were cutting as we got the footage back. So
I remember your quote coming back through the producers. Actually, no, maybe it was through the producers saying it cuts like butter.
exactly like butter.
So that was a nice sound. I assumed that was a good thing.
Yeah.
But then I also pictured Ryan in the editing room with just huge sticks of butter smeared all over his fingers, all over the Avid keyboard.
Not that far from the truth, actually.
This is a nice little tune by Jay right here. Originally had like a drum track and a piano track on it.
Yeah, and it was used originally in the scene where May is watching Adam from behind the telephone booth that we saw earlier.
Oh, the telephone pole, you mean?
Yeah. What am I talking about? Is Colin Farrell around?
Yeah.
No.
And freeze.
Ouch. But that was one of my favorite little pieces of music, the way that those strings like correspond with the camera moves and stuff like that. Ouchie, ouch. Another little discontinuity there.
Jesus, what are you doing?
I never get used to this thing. I never get used to blood. It's so weird. It's like
Really?
they had so many fake tools, like fake scalpels, fake scissors, but they still, whenever
Doesn't it hurt?
it plunged into anybody, it still cringed. Got a weak stomach.
Had a lot of issues with certain people working on this film about continuity, and one of my favorite quotes is actually from John Cassavetes, which is "Continuity is for pussies." And we tried to stick by that as much as we can, but there is some of these scenes to me play a little too fat because we kind of adhered to that rule in some sections. We had a much tighter cut of this scene. But it still works. I cut this scene. It's like 3 cuts.
You did good.
What were you gonna say, Benji?
They actually got that prop off my craft service table.
Oh, it's terrible.
Right next to the Slim
We had
Jims.
chop suey that day, didn't we?
That's right. That's right.
The infamous laundry room scene.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Yeah, I think we recut this scene probably more than
Yeah.
than any other, and
Yeah.
I think the final product for all our recutting. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
It
my
works.
least favorite cut in the film. This
Yeah.
scene right here, and not the next scene, but the scene after it. But it works, and it plays with the audience, so you can't really argue that. I mean, I thought maybe it was a little too broad, a little too goofy, actually.
Yeah.
But hey,
What's your name?
what are you gonna do?
What can you do?
And in my opinion, I think that this laundromat in particular was just a total rec room, and I think that Leslie Keel here actually did a nice job of dressing it up. I actually helped on this particular night. I
Did you?
put up
Did
a
you
couple
put up some
pan-
wallpaper?
Yes, I did.
Well,
You
outside
set up some
everybody was like
wallpaper.
talking to like transvestites and prostitutes and stuff like that. It wasn't a real seedy
Yes,
part of town.
This laundromat is right on Santa Monica Boulevard, right in the heart of small boy prostitution.
Yeah.
About 15 yards from my apartment.
Yeah, we all could have gotten lucky that night. Definitely.
So I love the interplay between the two of them right here. Just really shows Angela's comic timing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that they're beautiful.
Such a great innocence in this. Just
When we started out
I used to be a hand.
rehearsing for the part and stuff like that, just me and Angela, she was doing so much stuff with her face and with, she'd create a moment out of every single word. And the big solution was to tell her to do absolutely nothing and build up from there, because I couldn't figure out how to work with all the stuff she was doing. So I basically just had her perform the thing like a robot at first, and we kind of like layered in the character from there. It was an amazing experience working with her, actually. She's a special one, definitely.
Here, here.
gosh, those pictures that we took of her when she was wrapped in one of the quilts.
Yeah.
That was like such a moment for
That
me.
was like the night at the house, basically, where we told her, yeah, we want to use you in this part, and
Yeah.
we took her out into the garage instantly. That sounds kind of disturbing, I guess. And Steve, my DP, built most of his lights to light this film, and he had one of his lights out there, and we put her underneath it and put her with a patchwork quilt and took some pre-Raphaelite style shots of her, basically, to see what she looked like in the light, and tried out some different positions and stuff like that kind of were like those paintings and stuff.
Yeah.
And
It's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was a
that
neat
was one of the
moment.
influences
That
that I
video,
totally
yeah.
forgot to.
I got to
to
track
even
down
talk
that
about.
footage, actually. That's some really exciting stuff. That was the first time Angela and Jeremy had acted together, too. And it was just me, Jeremy, and Angela upstairs in the two-loop house, and me videotaping them together, and we did a couple scenes. It was pretty neat. I was just so blown over by Angie that I think I might not have given Mr. Sisto the proper amount of attention. But it all worked out in the end.
I totally agree. I felt the same way.
But
I
his
remember,
character's
yeah.
about reaction. You know what I mean? He's he's playing, for all intents and purposes, he's playing the girlfriend part in this movie. A part that usually women, audition for. And it was a lot harder for us to find the right guy because of that, I think. Maybe a little ego involved in that. Sisto didn't really have the ego as much, I guess.
Yeah, it actually ended up working really well because he just let her do her thing, You kind of
Yeah.
let her be the spotlight, which is important, in order for the audience to fall in love with May the way all of us did, Just, you gotta just let her do her thing, and Jeremy was good about that.
Yeah.
He played off her really well, and
Yeah, they just
like you
looked
said,
right
just
sitting next
reacted
to
off
each
her.
other.
Yeah, they did. They looked really good together.
I love that shot right there. It was so neat to see that with a real film dissolve on it after we've been editing for so long, because a film dissolve is totally different than, a digital or video dissolve. You can really feel that black just like creep into the picture. It's really nice.
Does that make any sense to you? Fecal exam on Miss Kitty. No problem.
That's not Maddie.
That joke is always a little too much for me. I think when I watch the film, and the extras in the background, they didn't know they were supposed to be walking, so they're just standing there like frozen robots. I think they started there. They started walking there. And Clamato again. Benji.
Clamato. Ben.
Thoughts on Clamato?
Clam juice.
Way too voluminous to get into here.
Benji, this might actually be the first time that a craft service person has been invited to a commentary track. I know you do some of your own commentary tracks
Certainly,
at home.
I do a lot of home recording. I'll put on some of my favorite films and old videotaped episodes of Quantum Leap, what have you, and then do my own commentary tracks. But yeah, that's the first time I've been asked to. I guess technically I asked to come with you today to get into the studio.
Actually, you just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
You just got there. And
We're sitting in my van, actually, when I opened it up on the way over here this morning.
Santa Monica Boulevard.
You gotta be aggressive in this industry, in this town.
I applaud you for that.
You know what, though? That taco stand you have is really cool. I like that. Benji wouldn't, he's a little shy about it, but he does have, like, you're going to be a chain soon, right?
The permits have all been rejected. My application for permits, I was buying taco, that Del Taco, and then reselling them at a little bit of a markup. Wasn't flying.
So we shave Seymour's tummy, we cut him open, and we take out a piece of intestine about the size of a hot dog. Everything went smooth, but when we went to sew Seymour back up, we realized that we were out of the heavy sutures that you're supposed to use for large dogs. So the doctor decided that if we tripled up on cat sutures, that should do the trick. Well, a few days go by, and the old man calls up, hysterical. The cat sutures had burst when he was at work, and by the time he got home,
My sister's lovely story about a dog bursting open. Its stitches didn't hold quite well, and yeah. I just love the
Well, then I guess
warmth
I
in her
shouldn't.
face here.
Yeah.
Then I guess I shouldn't tell you what was in that lasagna I made for you guys on that day.
Did you make those sandwiches that they're eating now, or was that just a...
Jeremy brought those from home.
Okay.
What about cigarettes? Were cigarettes part of the craft service table?
The Bilsons were. Everybody
Bilsons?
else. I bought so many packs of cigarettes for people in
You
this
did.
movie.
Yeah.
I just felt so guilty because people are like basically getting like $5 and a hand job to do this thing.
Wait
I didn't get a hand job.
Wait a minute.
After the commentary track, you guys are totally welcome to cash in on that. I got some lotion in the van.
I was going to say, I didn't get my $5.
Someone get Marius and Scott in here right away.
Bunch of fucking comedians. But yeah, I mean, just the cigarette thing, and just, I tried, just like I said, nobody was getting paid. They're doing kind of this thing out of like just the kindness of their hearts and their love of the project, I guess. And
I should probably get back to work.
I don't know. I think it just makes a difference to have someone smokes for them there in the morning. You know what I mean? They have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to come work on your movie. You should just do whatever little things you can do to take care of people and know that they're appreciated.
How about tonight?
You also made a few beer runs at the end of the day.
Yeah,
on
a
several
couple
occasions.
of those. I drink most of the beer myself. But
I also might add that Lucky's, I think, one of the only directors I've ever worked with who actually showed up at Wrap. At the end of the movie, he actually helped everyone put away equipment and helped us pull furniture out of locations. It was just amazing. I don't think I've ever experienced that before. Cheers, Lucky.
that's beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Oh, man.
I love this sound right here. music.
This particular piece actually was composed originally in the living room of Ryan Johnson here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did some test runs just to see what equipment we might be using and programs and whatnot. And he had a keyboard set up in his living room. And I don't know, that's it.
That was me, you, and my dad were there, and Ryan was doing card tricks for us while Jay was trying to figure this song out here. It's a
whole
song.
lot of dolls.
But speaking of living rooms, the whole soundtrack was recorded in Angelo Metz's living room.
Yeah, two
6
apartments
days.
down from mine on an old broke down PC. All the musical score and a lot of the original songs. Yeah, George Washington down the corner there. Love that guy.
The owner of this location was really nice.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that guy.
You remember that guy?
Mm-mm.
I can't remember exactly
I don't remember
what the
having
story
any
was.
problems, but
I think there was a small, like, I mean, it was much in the condition that the car was in. It was this like little tiny wood table that I can't remember exactly what happened. I think like a grip tripped over it or something and like brushed against a leg, and he freaked out and wanted like a ton of money for it. It was a tiny wooden table. He was just like, rawr.
This is the testament
This is
to
you.
Jeremy's acting skills, because he actually, the
Balance of
salsa
salsa.
that day was made of, we couldn't afford salsa, we had ketchup and tobacco. And so he, managed to keep a straight face throughout. Really something else.
good old stuff. We got to get him in here to do his own commentary track so we can defend all the jokes we're making about him. It's all in good fun, though, Jeremy. You know that. You know I love you. There's only one Caesar for me.
He is such a good sport. There's only one Caesar.
Yeah.
Did he play Caesar too?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
Jesus, Caesar.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And the dude in Hideaway.
I don't remember him in Clueless.
Now
He's
this is
Elton.
a cool little. This is one of my
like-
favorite Leslie Keel sets, actually. It's very simple, and all of it's just designed in the shot. But like, there's nothing going on above or below that. That's all just Leslie and Steve, just knowing where to put the camera and knowing what the shots were, and
Yeah.
it's got a
friend
cool
of mine,
atmosphere to it.
Paul Brasili. We ended
that's
up
right.
taking a lot of photographs from Dario Argento, which is one of Lucky's huge influences as well. And we took this
You make
different
movies
art.
too.
You make a movies too.
That's what he said to me when I met him. He goes, "Oh, you
Are
make
you
a movie too." Yeah, this is happy little Italian guy wearing
Oh
like
my
my
God.
size of jacket.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
But no, it's okay. We ended up taking a lot of the photographs that you and I kind of pulled out of books, and we gave them to Paul. And Paul really does like really cool things with picture frames with just iron.
Yeah, was this the one that had Britney Spears on it or something like that? Because you like put like your own stuff over the top of his paintings, right?
Some of them I tweaked a little bit. Yeah, we'd add old keyhole hardware and nails and whatnot. But he was definitely like the first layer in all the artwork behind May and Adam. And oh God, look at her.
Yeah, what a sweetie.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, that eye is like really creepy. My eye always goes directly
to the
the
picture
eye
from
in that
Opera in
picture,
the
yeah.
background. I hadn't
Yeah.
even seen Opera at this point. And eventually when I saw it, I was just like completely blown away. Any Argento movie you can get your hands on, I highly recommend.
Here, here.
Things of Beauty. Opera is
It
actually
is.
one of the most perfect looking movies I've ever seen. Really cool POV stuff in that film. And there's Sisto's hair. This is kind of a trippy little cut right here. Boom. Boom. That was kind of like an accident in the editing room, but it was one of those happy accidents. I can't believe I just said that.
I was about to fix it, and Lucky saw it and said, "Wait a minute, Ryan, that sort of works."
Oh, God. I'm turning into Scott Sturgeon.
Who taught you how to kiss?
May's starting to show a little Meanness. And I always get accused of using too much blood, which is it's just a ridiculous statement in my opinion. How can you have too much blood?
Actually, there isn't even that much blood in this, I don't think.
Not really.
We didn't go through that much.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking all cheerleaders die. This girl gets punched in the mouth and she's just like her whole face is just like covered in blood. Yeah. It looks really cool though. There's the old Bilsons.
That's my cat. It's Maddie. Hello.
And that is the real meow, correct?
Yeah, that's Leslie's cat. Yeah, the cat just decided to be vocal in this.
She's very talkative. She's very talkative.
She keeps looking at the microphone there, you see her? She's like, what is that thing? I think that's what she was meowing at. I think she
Animal
thought it was
wrangler.
like her friend or something.
I'm actually amazed that this even worked out. Like, working with enough animal wranglers, just like that thought of bringing my own cat on set along with everything else we were doing.
I mean, yeah.
It was just ridiculous. You know,
And
I
also,
actually left
getting
her
it high
overnight.
beforehand really helped.
I actually ended up leaving her overnight at this location. I called my mom in tears, and I was like, Mom, I haven't slept for 3 days. And I was halfway home from downtown, and I realized that I had left Maddie there in a dark room. I totally forgot about it. I felt terrible. I left her there overnight. I came back the next morning. She was fine, but I was distraught.
Which actually, as a crew, we kind of did the same thing with Benji one night. Benji, that happened.
Yeah, Benji. I actually haven't talked to Benji since that night. He just kind of showed up in my van this morning. I'm really sorry about that, Benji.
Nice
That
law
was
books in the
totally my
background,
bad.
by the way.
So are you gonna dance with me or what?
We think we're funny anyway. Originally, one of the other editors, Kevin Ford, had cut a version of this scene set to a Prince song.
Really?
Yeah.
What
It was-
Prince song is that?
Fuck, which one was it? Slow Love or some like that. Some Prince song shit. Aren't they all the same thing? But yeah, it really kind of gave the scene some energy. And then we eventually threw out Kevin's cut and completely redid everything. I'm kidding. But Angela's really great. Watch her eyes in this scene.
You're her only hope.
Watch that neck.
Oh, come on. Lucky keep you company when you're all alone. Besides, so reminds you of me. Okay. Ah, wonderful.
Oh, dear.
I have to go.
Now, I remember, Lucky had something really specific actually for the kiss, where you shot
Girls' night out.
with a long lens.
Oh,
and
that's
then-
right.
But it didn't really work. Though.
It didn't.
So I'm really glad. Really glad I brought it up.
Yeah. We wanted it to be the exact same size shot, but with two different lenses, just by moving the camera in, so you'd feel that transition when she kisses her. But, well, I guess somebody else is going to do that now because I've just revealed it to the world. But this is our taxi driver shot here.
You know, it's too bad we couldn't get any wider in this room because we did those arched windows that we talked about.
Yeah.
We actually did that.
Yeah, we
But this
actually wanted to
was-
shoot the opening sequence through an arch. Actually,
Yeah.
we never did that either. So we're going to tell you about all the things that we wanted to do, but
That we didn't get to do.
and that's a bedspread made by Jay Barnes Luckett, our composer.
Yes, it is.
So everybody chipped in every way possible. Is that one of your paintings in the background, Leslie? Or is that just
It's a photograph that I
Oh,
took,
okay.
but yeah, I mean it's a photograph, not a painting.
okay? Fine.
But yeah, one of the
Listen very
production
closely,
designers.
everybody. You can hear Susie say something right here, right before it cuts.
Anytime.
Oh shit! Did you hear that?
Yeah, this is another slightly claustrophobic location.
Yeah, but god damn, it looks beautiful, Leslie.
Was that
No, it does. But I was laughing because didn't we have to pretty much store like extras, craft service, and all the equipment in the bedroom when we were shooting in the living room. And then when we were shooting in the living room, we had to put everything into the bedroom.
Craft service was in the linen closet.
Yep. This was actually
Where we locked them in.
pure white, like every single wall in this tiny little loft was white, and we actually ended up building all the walls and painting them around her.
I think it was pretty much just you, Leslie.
Well,
Yeah, just this old loft. And the reason we shot there is because there was really high ceilings and we could get Steve's lights in there.
Yep.
And
worked out great, and we were right next to a guitar center. And
this is one of the widest shots we had, actually.
Yep.
There's that
There's
wallpaper.
Jay's wallpaper.
Yeah.
Thank you,
put that up,
Jay.
Jay?
Yeah, me and
Put
Justin.
that up for me. Yep.
Justin Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no messages.
Yeah, the trailer. For some reason, the trailer.
We watched a trailer last night, and
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They seem to think that 0 on the answering machine doesn't communicate well enough that nobody's calling her, and there's some woman's voice saying, "You have no message."
I still wish there was originally with this little section, like it boomed up to her, and then it was like the phone thing at the beginning. We stayed on it for literally like 30 or 40 seconds, an uncomfortable amount of time, which I kind of miss.
Waiting with her.
Yeah.
I really like the way this just looks so nice. Looks like such a specific time of day, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And
She looks
Angela-
very luminescent.
Yeah, and her kind of taking some influence from Polly right here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I don't know. What do you like?
Sorry I haven't called you back. I've been really busy with this little movie.
Do you guys think Sisto looks like Travolta?
Sometimes.
Only from behind.
He looks like a because like everybody is always
know what that
like
means.
I've been asked if he was a Baldwin brother, if he was Travolta.
If you were
No, it's
Baldwin
just
brother,
a-
which one would you want to be?
Jeez, the hairy
Jeremy.
one.
Daniel, the sweetheart. I worked with him in the past.
The color of these walls was inspired by some of the mustard that Benji brought to set one day. I believe it was a combination of Grey Poupon and French's. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but
Yeah, we tested it out just by smearing it all over the walls and all over Benji actually.
really echoes the beautiful color of the pea green Gatorade that Benji gave us for this scene.
A testament
Pea yellow.
to-
It's actually pea yellow.
A testament to Jeremy on this. I was on set for one of these, or during this whole scene being shot.
Yeah, I said something about this last time. You
Oh,
talking about the
you
bug?
did? Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was a bug in that glass of Gatorade. At least, I don't know if that particular shot that was used, if it was, but there was a fly in that glass, and Jeremy just was totally I don't know, he still drank
Gulped it down.
So I was like, you are
I
the
think
man.
Benji put it in there. Jen Grant and Jesse Lubick, stars of All Cheerleaders Die.
Jen, another great cheerleader.
Yeah. She actually did an awesome audition for Polly, too. Awesome audition.
Did I get to see that, Lucky? I think, was I there for that or no?
Her audition?
Yeah, because I was there
remember.
from... It's unusual for a production designer to be part of casting, but Lucky was nice
Yeah.
enough to let me sit in because
Yeah, but I mean,
May
the actors
just-
are part of the design.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, especially with May. We've been looking at so many pre-Raphaelite paintings, and it was all about
Finding
seeing
that
which
girl. Yeah.
see which girl fit the part aesthetically as well as.
Jeremy's face actually really matched, just like the way the light, like, goes around his eyes and stuff. Sounded really fruity, didn't it?
I wasn't gonna call you on it.
He's so cute.
Wow,
That's so lovely.
that's juicy.
Chris Severson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Chris
Yes.
Severson. He busted some moves on the other commentary track we did. Boy, did he bust some moves.
And some nuts.
Lucky, what did you think the first time Chris showed this to you?
I don't know. I had the biggest boner. I was stoked because, because like the guy, it's like, I don't know, just didn't disappoint. I trusted him to do the thing and didn't, just had a basic idea of what he was going to do and then just let him do it. And he just, Slam dunk. Good stuff. I mean, I just love his editing. It really reminds me of Romero. And the Reggie Adam Stubbs was his idea at the end there. I thought it was really funny because we watch so many Italian horror films that it's just like we always see that. So I thought it was funny. And the fan, he made up Adam's last name, Adam Stubbs, which is pretty funny because his hands get cut off at the end.
Yeah.
I don't think that she could have gotten his whole finger in one bite, though. That part was kind of far-fetched.
Bing!
Here we are with the Fabulous Breeders again.
Yes. Oh. Highly recommend the album. The album this came off of Pod, produced by Steve Albini, one of the coolest engineers ever. And also Safari, right? Is the EP that version of Do You Love Me Now that we used?
Yeah.
The Safari version is the superior version in my opinion. And Kelly Deal's album, Kelly Deal 6000, Boom Boom Boom.
Yeah.
We used a couple tracks off of that, so go buy those. They're good records. They will not disappoint you.
This is true.
Steve's lighting just constantly, like every single shot, just kind of
Yeah,
me for a
was,
loop,
he was really frustrated this day. I remember he was really unhappy with the way this stuff looked, and I was just like, "What the
hell
are
you talking
about, dude? This looks great."
Yeah, it's so soft.
So I had Benji slap him around a little bit. And
well, I calmed him down with a Smirnoff Ice. That seemed to do the trick, and he seemed to get back more into his element. You gotta know these things, these tricks.
Still don't know about that.
I always hated that shot.
Yeah,
I was
what is that?
convinced by everybody, like, "Oh man, that's cool. He's like teasing her with the hand." It's like a little on the fruity side for me.
Not by me.
And then everybody always just gasps, "Oh my God, he's bleeding!" Right there in the audience.
Oh, fuck, he's bleeding.
In a strange way, this kind of reminds me, I don't know if anybody's seen a movie called The Stendhal Syndrome, where this guy's got Ozzy Argento pinned down on the bed, and he has this razor in his mouth, and he cuts her lip.
Please.
But
I need a
it's
towel.
always reminded me of that. And this is also, like, very influenced by Travis taking Betsy to the porno theater in Taxi Driver. It's kind of that sort of a scene where the character clearly doesn't understand what they're doing wrong. And we feel sad for them as a result. Thanks, Marty. But a lot of people have noticed the Repulsion influence. Obviously, Frankenstein, this and that. But like, I have to say, Taxi Driver is structurally and emotionally the biggest influence on this film, probably in terms of film influence on the film.
You like weird.
So yet again, thanks, Marty. Someday we'll meet and I'll ruffle up those eyebrows of yours. You worked with Marty on The Big Shave, didn't you, Benji?
He the doll.
This is my favorite shot.
Yeah, shot by our gaffer.
Jaren shot?
Yeah, they just painted just the part of the door that you can see. That was just some door in the
That's
Serrano
right.
house. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
always hated that shot. This is cool though. Our effects guys in the reshoots really figured out how to make that crack happen.
Yeah.
And everybody knows I love crack.
This was a pretty gross situation too. This was
Yeah, you know what? That's something that I got to get put on the DVD is just the footage of Angela digging her hands in that, because you can hear her just
Yeah.
like totally about to barf.
Yeah.
She's just like, "Oh God, dude, this is so disgusting."
Yeah, this was actually just I think it was like a pork belly or like some sort of belly of some animal that we put a prosthetic just on top of. So when she cut through it, it was, yep. Yeah, we actually cooked that up later.
Gross.
And
Nasty. Will Estes.
Yes.
He's on, what's that show, American Dreams now?
Dreams, yeah.
I'm gonna use this guy. He was my
JJ.
second choice for Adam, actually. I will use that guy in the future. Really, really talented actor. And the fucking boom guy following him with the boom when he's doing his dialogue. My dad has footage of I don't know where the hell it's at, but like footage from inside the room. And the guy's like the boom guy is like going back and forth with him. It's like just strangely sexual somehow. It's some funny footage. And I didn't know, I'm trying to shoot this serious scene with Angela on the other side of the door, and every time we cut, you just hear this raucous laughter. Just like, I don't know. I was being kind of moody that day too. And I was just like, slammed the door and fired everybody. But
this was this
is a total Waterhouse shot right here. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that was the day that you guys were trying to figure out who are the type of people who close the door behind them and who doesn't.
What?
Remember, you and Steve were talking about who shuts the door. I can't mention names, but some people would like actually walk through the door and close the door behind them, and others wouldn't.
God, yeah.
That whole conversation. Sorry, anyone who's listening to this,
we're gonna do a third commentary
won't understand
track
what the hell we're talking about.
Called the bitterness commentary track, and we'll explore all of those issues right there. And then our wonderful still photographer, while we were shooting this scene, like. And most scenes that he actually did still photography for, just always found a way to be standing right where we needed to be. I think the camera even ran into the guy at one point.
I need quiet right now.
During a shot. You need quiet.
Yeah.
That snazzy couch where all this hot action is happening. You made that couch, didn't you, Leslie? Or was that in your house?
I didn't make it from scratch. I mean, it was an old. I stole it from my house. It was an old like diner, like little diner seat, and I just ended up putting shelving paper on it, so to give it a little contrast, like the red and white stripes.
Yeah, and it was cool. They matched Ambrosia's skirt.
Yeah, well, the original idea was that we didn't want a couch that was completely red because originally there was going to be a little more blood going on, so we wanted a white surface for it to splatter on, but. The other problem is I hate white, so what do you do?
That's such a good statement. I hate white.
Yeah.
I gotta get a T-shirt that says that.
White.
Just hate white.
Yeah, our location scout was a real big fan of white, and every location we went to was always white. So I always made sure that we got rid of that. So, but this was one of the sets that I had a great time with, and we were lucky enough to shoot it in a master, which I was really happy about because it's.
We pretty much had to. We planned on doing that, that great wide shot that we did. But we also had about 13 other shots mapped out for the scene, and just time-wise, just couldn't do it. So.
There was more footage shot on this scene than any other one, though. Surprisingly, I remember.
Not that surprisingly.
Yeah.
Very hard to call.
You got a little female on female action going.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little embarrassed by that. Calm down, Benji. Calm down. I think actually this scene is one that Deborah Goldfield made some good improvements on, actually. The last editor.
Anna gave me that mole.
You're the one that has that. We were talking about that last time. I was wondering who the hell had that thing.
Yeah.
Did you ask her for it?
No, she just put it in my hand. The day I met her, she's just like, here. I was like, thank you. That's so odd.
You should have had her initial it.
That's something Angela would do. That's so funny.
We'll sell it on eBay.
These kids were, I don't think we had any blind kids in this shot, did we?
Yeah, we did actually.
We did?
A couple of them.
But there were a couple
the
kids
one with
I remember.
The glasses.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. That was like so controversial in the last commentary track we did. We were talking about the fact that they're in Hollywood. They're actually blind kids with SAG cards.
And here we meet Roxanne.
Yeah, I met Roxanne through you. She auditioned for Polly.
Yeah.
She's really funny. What was that movie she was in?
Funny.
The Fluffer?
The Fluffer.
Which I think Benji did the craft service on that one.
Yep. She also played a prostitute in Night Stalker, which Brett, crazy old man with the dog leg, is playing his own murder.
Yeah. That's Frocks. That
Yeah.
song, little children's song that Jay wrote.
Yeah, it's another one done on the 4-track in the bedroom. He actually called me up, I guess the night before or a couple of nights before they shot this scene, said, I need a children's song. So I was like, oh, shit. So sat there and mailed off tapes with questionable lyrics. And, that's it.
This was another set built at the 102 South Broadway location.
Yep. Burnout old office building.
For any of those who decide they want to shoot at a free location, just so you guys know, this has now been taken over by the government. This location is no longer.
Is it because of us?
Yeah.
It's
They
possible.
were pissed at us when we went out of there, weren't they? They thought we messed the place up or something.
No.
No?
No, not
okay,
at all.
I'm just totally making
We had to go.
stuff
We
up.
had to go back and paint one location. I remember. I wasn't able to go, so Richard told me to just give the kids the paint, and they couldn't understand the concept of like waiting for the first layer to dry before putting on the second layer.
Right.
So it ends up looking like mint green, like whipped cream all over the walls. So
That's hot.
they weren't too happy about that one, but yeah.
Jay's wallpaper.
Wallpaper!
Yeah.
Yay!
Jay and Justin Stone.
That's right.
Big ups. Stone.
Jay was not only the composer but also a set dresser for me.
Yeah, I
times.
mean, pretty much everybody that worked on the film pitched in any way they could at any time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why the movie's so special.
We all got at our apartments.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I got your lamp for Adam's apartment.
There's your cat.
Making new friends. Right in my
Benji.
Lovely.
Some of us were even willing to pay you to work on the movie.
Just you, Benji. Just you.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Real nice mop of hair on that guy, huh?
Yeah. Did you inspect the vending machines in this place, Benji?
They're filled entirely with Clamato.
Did we ever actually do a cut without the kids in it?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. We did. We completely cut the entire blind children subplot out at one point.
Was the movie 50 minutes?
It was, I think it was like 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one subplot that could easily be lifted, and we gave it a try. But
What made you put it back in? Did you think it was just working? It was just working better with it, or was it?
it just felt right, I guess.
Plus, there was a cool
It just
children's
felt right.
song in it too.
Yeah, exactly. Very disturbed.
Oh,
Legs.
you want to join us? Well, then can we do something tomorrow, May? I gotta hit this.
We shot a lot of takes of this scene right here. I felt so bad for Angie because it's a complicated scene to do because she's not full on crying. She's just like building and kind of getting there over the course of the scene. But we kept having a lot of sound problems.
Oh, that's right. This was like dogs barking and
Yeah, like
yard and
little kids like sitting on the fence, like screaming at us and stuff.
Yep.
I was weeping.
Benji weeping in the background the whole time.
Yep. I think after this scene, the art department decided to always like keep a jar of peanut butter and dog biscuits in the back
For Benji.
for Benji. Oh, this is great.
I love that like whatever that big piece of furniture is behind Angie's back right there. That's your mom's, right, Leslie? That big, isn't it? The big
It's
thing with all
actually
the-
what it is it's actually an antique tailor's cabinet, and like each drawer like holds a bunch of spools of thread,
So
and it's
cool.
yeah, it's like a French antique.
Nifty.
Poor Angela.
Is this the midpoint lull?
Yeah.
Midpoint low.
We added that little hiss into the cat there.
You were originally going to animate the doll.
This part was a nightmare. I tried like starving Maddie for like 2 days, basically to try to get her to like follow me with a can of wet food and
Yeah, that did take some. That was like her most. She was being kind of a diva that day.
Yeah, she was.
Oh God, the first take of the scene we did, Angela was. I told her to fumble around with the telephone cord, and she accidentally turned the shower on. And there was a light in the shower. I was like, oh God, water just doused the microphone.
Oh no.
Yeah. Could have
so
one of those, just stupid things. You're going long hours and just, I don't know, not thinking about basic shit. So. We all could have been fried.
And this was not a real
and that's
bathroom.
total isn't it Foster
No, it
Danker?
wasn't.
Who's that guy at USC that's just like bathtub, nights, don't mix.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. And then my first feature, we actually did that.
Explain who Foster Danker is again.
I'd never had him for a class. I just heard from production.
He didn't
students,
teach classes. He came. He was like a safety expert who was roughly like 109, who came to teach us all about safety and stuff. He's like, when you're making a talkie, you gotta be extra careful.
Back when I was working in D.W. Griffith, it was quite a different story. So funny. I'm so glad we made this a talkie.
Talkie.
We actually simulated those cracks on the glass with glue, right, Leslie?
What time?
Yeah, we ended up taking a hot glue gun, and if you just kind of roll it over the surface of the glass, like make little strings, and you connect them, just like making a little cobweb design on the front. And then later on for the reshoots, our real special effects people actually gave us real cracks, which was kind of nice because I think we only had like maybe two containers for the doll, so we couldn't really like destroy one of them because they were they were hard to come by.
Yeah.
So
that was.
So we
just
ended
a
up
rig.
just like demoing it in the end, along with Susie. Susie was in bad shape by the end of the reshoots.
Oh, man.
Poor little Susie.
I hate you. Who can tell me what this is?
We don't know, May. What is it?
Petey, come here and see if you can figure it out.
I don't know.
Come on.
We don't mean to be laughing at the children.
I'll tell you what it
Wow. A lot to talk about all of a sudden.
Well, I'll just do something in advance. Basically, the song coming up, you'll recognize as a children's song, but Angela Bettis is actually singing on it, as is the wife of the engineer,
Claudia.
Claudia
Who's
Schwartz.
an opera singer, or like a classical. What do you call that? What type of singer is she?
Yeah, it's
Sings with a real high voice, like fancy, like foreign songs and stuff.
She make the pretty sounds using her mouth hole.
Her mouth hole? Gross.
Come on, May, let it out. We want to meet your friend.
This little girl, Rachel David, was just perfect instantly.
I can't. She's special. She doesn't come out.
Good little actress.
Stays in. She's very fragile.
I think this is one of the most disturbing moments in the movie. Oof.
Remember, we cut a version of this to, we had the soundtrack to Vertigo for a while.
Yeah.
It was a little overbearing, but it was kind of
We used
cool.
Vertigo for a lot of our temp score, and it was just
Didn't
Bernard
you,
Herrmann.
Didn't you
Can't
use
do me
a Velvet Underground song too at some point?
Oh,
Yeah,
Candy
yeah,
Says
yeah. We
something.
used Candy Says, actually, with the Velvet Underground. I
Yeah,
forgot
wow.
about that.
I think Kevin did that.
Yeah, he did.
This is the most tasteful scene in the film, I think. I like that. I don't know. I like the surreal quality of it, though.
Thank you, Jay, for making this even more disturbing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I tried to do my best.
Yeah.
There's one quick little insert of her rubbing the glass in her eyes that we did as a pickup.
It's amazing watching it after having not seen it for a while how well the reshoots are integrated into how.
Yeah, definitely.
There was actually
this is a reshoot right here.
Yeah, and also how just the structure of the entire thing. It was really interesting, kind of being in on the first cut of it because it was really.
Oh God! Remember our very first cut?
Yeah, it was awful.
Okay, that's a whole other story.
But yeah, because you get a first cut done and you watch it and then you cry for a few days and then you go back. But it was kind of getting to see the writing process kind of happen because you really approach the recutting of it like a writer. You wrote it out on all the index cards and laid out and then just started shuffling, and it was basically the entire structure of the movie was reworked like a couple times.
Yeah, it pretty much ended up being really close to what the script was originally in the end. But we tried everything, and we tried cutting the blind kids out. We did one really cool thing that I would suggest trying just as an editing experiment if you're doing something with a lot of characters is to edit individually just each character's scenes. Like we had one time we had just all the scenes with Adam in them, and then another one that was just the scenes with Polly. So we were able to watch how their characters developed over the course of the story on their own. So that was kind of a fun experiment. We tried all kinds of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had way too much time on our hands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of experimentation on the craft service end, too. I remember, I believe it was actually this day that I came in with a tray of June bug fritters. Something I whipped up. Not particularly popular.
June bug fritters. Really crunchy, though. Talked about this a little bit earlier on, but I guess I'll kind of re-stress how important this image was to me right here. That May is just so torn by everything that's happening to her that she actually cries blood.
Huge image. You drew this. Well, actually, both of us drew this.
Years ago, yeah. It's one of the images that I was just, I don't know, like the most excited about capturing on film. I just thought it was a cool way to communicate her pain.
This is not Maddie, by the way. No animals were harmed in this film.
So hard to not laugh while we were shooting this scene.
I know. And
so funny.
The audience was just disturbed by this.
Yeah. Just her timing is great.
And aroused in certain...
This is a reshoot where like everybody that worked on the film is all of a sudden
There's
extra.
me in the blue walking down the street.
Yeah.
That fine ass.
Meredith, Kevin. We got our location scout. We got our art department that we used on the reshoots.
And this scene originally happened in a park. Still in
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember our first cut of the scene, which was just a freeze frame of Jimmy?
Yeah, that's right.
Because we hadn't cut the scene yet, but we wanted to watch our first cut, and
That's right.
Ryan just inserted this silly freeze frame of Jimmy, and that was like the whole scene.
And I think it was the best cut of that scene we ever came up with. Actually.
Yeah, evidently.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
evidently so.
So you guys probably really wanted Jimmy to
Yeah,
be
he just had
frozen
really
most
long hair, and they stuck some wires in it and some eggs, and somehow came out with this.
Rooster do.
Rooster do. This is the only scene that's completely dubbed, too. Our sound guy, Jim Dare, was just unbelievable. If you're looking for a
Wow.
production sound guy, Jim Dare is the man.
I like the colors a lot in that shot. That's fun. Kind of looks like just one big patchwork quilt behind Mina.
I love the wall.
And that was
thing,
made from
yeah.
like samples, like carpet, like
Yep.
samples and stuff like that you had. You just kind of patched work
But
together.
basically, when you have very little money on production, I think I went to like 7 or 8 different fabric stores and just asked for swatches.
Yeah.
Pretending like I was some big fashion designer. Walked out with like bags and bags of swatches. I was like, this will work.
Yeah, it totally works for the patchwork sort of theme to the film too.
Mm-hmm.
I love your tattoo.
Another gifted actor, Jimmy Duvall, with Steve eating from a box of jujubes here now. And we couldn't afford a box of jujubes at this stage in the production, so I actually went to the Tomcat Theater in Santa Monica and collected discarded jujubes from under some of the seats. Really gifted.
So I remember the picture of horchata that he had on the set also.
The drugs are totally taking effect now.
Oh, man.
You fucking
Tomcat. Chi-Chi, what's the guy's name?
LaRue.
Chi-Chi LaRue's new film.
What was the name of it?
Bucket full of
Starting
chicken.
Young or something like that.
One bucket full of chicken. Referring to our local all-male adult movie house here in Los Angeles.
We frequent.
Which is in the middle of a nice neighborhood, and so you're just driving by, and then you see the marquee that's just like, you know.
Chi-Chi LaRue.
Dawson's Crack. Dawson's Crack.
What would the May porno name be?
At that theater?
Wow.
Gay. Gay.
Lay.
Lay.
Spray.
This is Ryan Johnson right here. Ryan, talk to us about this, man.
Ryan.
Walk us through it.
Awesome.
Cut by cut. Yeah, this ate up about half of your negative cutting
Yeah, it
budget.
actually did.
Yeah. No, this was like really late.
Really late in the game.
late.
It
The
was
whole
like
thing was
we
cut,
wanted
yeah.
like a visual equivalent of a cuckoo clock. And
Yeah.
Once, we tried putting the cuckoo clock sound in there, and the producers just thought it was a terrible idea.
I disagree, so.
She's so perfect in this. I don't think any actress could just say these lines more perfect. Oh my God, here it comes.
Maybe Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg. Pick a bed of cotton.
Angela's rolling, girl interrupted. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is a scene that we cut Jimmy completely out of, actually. And it used to happen right after May snapped. This scene took place, and she ran into Adam. But we thought it would be much more chilling if she had actually killed somebody before this scene, and it gives her dialogue a lot more weight. And yeah, doggies.
Don't care.
Listen, May, I'm sorry.
Originally, Jeremy performed the scene with an accommodator strapped to his chin. It's a little inside joke.
It's a brave choice.
Accommodator.
The accommodator is a dildo that you strap to your chin.
That Lucky just discovered at the sex shop right next to our apartment.
And it's actually called the accommodator.
That's such a.
Jeremy, if you're listening, we just didn't know what to talk about.
We bought a case of them.
He's
We're
not,
actually all wearing them right now. You can hear it brushing on the microphone.
Jeremy's not listening to this. Don't worry about it.
Good point. That guy has his cell phone piped into his stereo system in this weird assault vehicle that he drives around.
What?
He can he has his cell phone piped into the stereo, so it just comes out on the speakers, just yeah, talk to me. Just coming at you in surround sound. It's just whoa, this guy is so cool. And also, I gave him this Argento book early on as just a gift, and I had given it to him. We were driving somewhere to get some breakfast or I don't know, something, L.A. And he was clearly just reading the book and driving around L.A., not looking at the road at all. I think he actually had bought a vehicle that drove itself.
A robot.
A robot.
All right, quiet.
Oh,
yeah, look at that stomach.
That shot.
It's very similar to mine. Minus the fur and stretch marks. Let me stop the tape and retry that one.
Good.
Nice gams. Aren't they? Can I get a few more measurements?
Yeah, originally the producers wanted to cut back on
You ever thought of having this removed?
this scene, but we wanted to get as much mileage out of this girl Nicole as we possibly could because she's fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, she's
is so
really
funny. Just
that
like
actually
her.
really surprises me. That doesn't seem like something they do
Yeah,
at
like
all.
they wanted this little bit completely cut out. I love that shot right there. That's just gorgeous. Jay Barnes.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
actually an older song.
You weren't happy with this, were you? The way this came out? Were you happy
Yeah,
with it? Or?
well, I just wanted, I don't know, it's just my quirky little thing. I just wanted the guitar sound to be, I don't know.
Crunchier or something?
Yeah, it's just like the distortion in me just sounded kind of weak. So,
Did we already pass the point where there was a Weddings Off song?
no, not yet.
that's
It's
coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Los Angeles band, The Weddings Off.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
Awesome. We should talk about a few of the bands, actually.
Yeah.
Who all do we have on there?
There was
Dax Diaz. Oh.
He just played the song that was in the scene where Polly and
with
Ambrosia
Nicole.
were talking.
Yeah.
And
That's a killer song.
let's see, The Weddings Off, as mentioned. Throw My Wife was the band that played when Blank first shows up.
The punk rock song.
Yeah. H's Orange, they had a song. You can kind of make it out
Doing the
when...
sit-up scene.
Yeah. Will Estes is there. Who else is there? And The Breeders and Kelly Deal
Kelly
6000.
And 813.
Yeah,
which
and
is
Angelo
you.
Metz, actually the engineer for this, and he recorded everything. He had a song where...
It was the Muzak in the animal hospital, I think.
Yeah.
Hello, Meg.
No one ever seemed to think this was funny, but I think this little exchange is pretty funny where she's like, what are you doing right now? She's like, nothing. She like totally catches her.
Tonight, but
This.
I've been so busy.
The song in the background here is the Weddings Off
Yeah.
that we talked about.
It's a real saucy little number.
Doctor's saying 20% of the time now. It's funny because I always thought it was a doctor's rule.
And originally the music, when Polly hits the remote control and says, that's better, she was turning the music on.
Yeah. I
But
still
we
wish it were
decided-
that way.
We decided in post that she was shutting it off. Which, I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. Jay's just like, no. We're never working together again.
Yeah. We got into a fist fight over it, and basically...
I basically got
yeah.
my ass kicked.
So I just let him have it out of sympathy, basically.
No?
I got to give props to wardrobe for this. Her
Oh,
dress really worked out so well. It just looks so cool.
You're not sore about me and Ambrosia, are you?
I'm not sore.
You understand it's not serious, right? It's just a piece of ass. Oh. Wow.
It's so cool to see Anna play just like a straight up like character, you know? Like the scary movies, they're more
So
like
animated.
skit based,
Yeah.
you know? Like, and this is it's just cool to see her.
I thought she was fantastic in The Hot Chick.
I didn't see that
My
one.
vote so far, best film of 2003.
Agreed.
The harsh reality being that I actually saw it by myself. Theater in Burbank.
It's such a trip to me that like you don't hear anything coming out of her at this point. I always thought that was so weird.
Yeah, me too.
It's just kind of creepy.
And there's Leslie Kill's feet. Yay!
Yay! Bloody feet. Well, yeah, they were asking, you know, like who we could get as a dead corpse, and I at that point was so sleep deprived I was like a walking zombie.
She saw it as an opportunity
I saw it
for
as
a
an
break.
opportunity for a nap. So
That's hilarious.
I was like, I would be more than
true,
happy
too. Great.
to do that. So
Fantastic.
What are you doing here?
I still miss that there was a great moment that was cut out at the head of that where she's like getting ready to go. She wheels the thing all the way to the
never
door.
liked that.
And then there's a
I
knock
did.
and she comes back. I thought it was a great like.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That was a great little.
Well, you're wrong.
I know.
You have
And I love how there's like all the knives right next to her in the scene,
Yep.
and instead stabs her with the scalpels.
gams.
A scoople.
Scoople.
this was another one of the scenes that you drew out a lot. I remember the scalpels in the temples. You drew that a couple times.
Yeah.
You were showing me when.
Doll.
Gross.
Excuse me. Don't know what to tell you. It happened inside. No control over that.
Really, really sick.
Pretty mortified. Captured for posterity.
Posterity.
Shake it off.
Angela was so tired when we shot this shot. This is the end of the first week. You can see in her eyes how tired she is. It kind of works for the for the part, though.
How was that?
She's such a bitch.
Yeah.
She's such a wonderful
She's a
bitch.
fantastic bitch.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, everybody's a big fan of the milk.
Yep, that was Jaren.
Jaren. Love this
Another
shot. This is
reshoot.
our All Cheerleaders Die nod. First feature that Chris and I made together.
You got any cold ones in there? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. What, didn't we think that was from some commercial or something?
Yeah, there's
like
this commercial where this sandwich is like in the fridge, like giving like a sales pitch to like, and then the guy, he has like a little visual aid, and the guy says, "You have visual aids?" And so it's just, "Yes, I do." It's like exactly the same.
Which, yeah, we pull from, influences from all over the place.
Myriad of sources.
Yeah.
I love that shot.
I love that song.
That one was
too,
inspired
Jay.
by Clifford the big red dog.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No.
Clifford the Big Red Dog. He was on my box of Kicks.
That's probably why I thought
He's
about
like
it.
sponsors Kicks now. Benji got kind of pushed out for that sponsorship. Benzi, evidently. My Japanese friend.
AJ Benzo.
There's great stuff.
There goes with the hands again.
Yeah.
And his Caesar costume.
Yeah.
Yep. Homage to Caesar.
This is basically what got him the part in TNT's Caesar movie. Nora's on some show now too, isn't she? This girl right here.
I don't know.
Didn't you say you saw her auditioning for a pilot in like a bikini or something like that, Ryan?
She's on. She did a pilot, and I was at the place where they were cutting the promos for it. Yeah, in every other shot they had her in a bikini.
Fantastic.
But no, she has a shot on a show. She has like a recurring role on some show now. Yeah.
Good for her.
No wonder you liked her reading so much.
Oh my god.
That was like when we were going through casting. Remember when Mia finally came in, Lucky? Was it Mia?
Oh, God.
reading
Mia
for May?
Kirshner. Jesus Christ.
Mia
One of
Kirshner.
the
All I can
hottest-
say is that Lucky looked at me
Jesus.
and that's all I needed was the look. He was just like, oh my God, if a woman could embody sex.
She was one of
That is
the
it.
most attractive young women I've
The
ever
most
met in my life.
graceful yet sensual woman I've ever seen. And coming from a girl, that's like,
Yeah, we wanted her to do the part actually, and her agents talked her out of it, and she ended up on some werewolf show with Lou Diamond Phillips. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? It's like, why are you even coming in? Yeah,
Oh my
she
God,
did. Yeah,
But she did
It's too
do that
bad.
kiss scene
That is
in Not
too bad.
Another Teen Movie.
Oh fuck, that
with
movie
the old
is
lady.
hilarious. Yeah, that's true.
Chris Severson cut this scene, and I think it is probably the best cut scene in the whole movie. I think it's incredible. I love watching this
I
scene.
agree. It is a nice one. It's a showdown,
Yep.
and
Nora does a great job with the shit on too.
the lighting is gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Good old that
Absolutely.
little candle burning over there on the
Yep.
side.
I had to dip Jeremy's fingers in powdered sugar there to convince the young lady to suck on me. Really difficult.
Oh gosh.
She's great. A lot of attitude. A lot of ladies with a lot of attitude in this movie. Like
I like him with attitude, Leslie.
like
you
them
know
with
that.
attitude. Got a mass murderer and a bunch of women with attitude.
Fine. You know what? I'm out of here.
Not you, dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
Strange, like digestive noises being made.
That one wasn't me.
I'm pretty sure it was me. Pretty sure it wasn't that one was me. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Surprise, surprise! She doesn't kill him. She kills her. Jeremy's screaming like a little bitch.
I know.
Yeah, I think my claim last time was that he just turned into Chewbacca all of a sudden.
I should go without saying that is Clamato. All over these guys.
It should go without saying.
Oh. Pirates.
Gross.
Totally.
And here's that theme with Angela again.
I love the lighting in this. We actually reshot Adam's death for this. You can see his hair is kind of different. He pulled a Harvey Keitel from Who's That Knocking on the Door. His first Scorsese movie where they shot like over the course of 5 years.
Does Harvey Keitel whip it out in that movie?
Yeah, actually he does.
He does.
Yeah, they reshot a scene with nudity in it so they could distribute it.
He slings a lot of muscle, that guy.
Yeah, he does. He sure does. I love right here is the shower cap that Angela's wearing.
So awesome.
She's just so worried about getting her hair wet. And she's washing this severed leg in the front.
It's so funny. I wanted to keep that shower curtain. I had turned in production, but
Yeah, that's
I really wanted that shower curtain.
So this is Jay's Danny Elfman ripoff music.
Yeah,
right?
I've been
I
told
never
that.
understood that. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it, but
I don't.
I mean, I'd say like visually, there's more. There's some Tim Burton influence, more so because. Not because I was asking for it as much as I think people just kind of assumed that that's the type of stuff I was into. That's why.
And I mean, this particular thing right here, like I wrote this basically like when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
This piece, and then I played it for Lucky, and I was just all insecure about it. And
Yeah,
he's like,
She tells me. Yeah, she tells me like, I got this one thing, but you probably don't want to hear it. I don't think it's right. And I'm just like, oh, you gotta let me hear it. And I listened to it, and it was like my favorite thing.
But I don't know. But yeah, it's like all, there's been some reviews or whatnot where, basically one or two that said that basically the score is a Danny Elfman ripoff. First of all, I don't think that's a bad thing, but that was not my intention anyway. It was pre-existing stuff, the majority of the stuff
I
here.
guess somehow supposed to be cat fur right there.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I don't buy that at all.
Did you guys see the one review that hated the movie and blamed its failure on me and Deborah Gold? Named us as criminal. Yeah, it was amazing. It was hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I forget.
There's such amazing critics they could pinpoint it that specifically.
Yeah. For the most part,
funny.
the reviews have been very, very flattering on the film, and I think we're I kind of feel like we're maybe gonna get a little spoiled on this one, but I think maybe the next film I make, I'll probably have a lot more people hating it, hopefully. Because bad reviews are like way more fun to read than good reviews.
God.
They're
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Well, they're at least a little more specific.
Yeah.
They usually tell you what they don't like about it.
And I just love
who they don't like
pissing
them.
people off, you know? That's my favorite thing. And pissing on people. Gross. Get the beer away from me.
We're coming to the end of the track.
Water sports.
Things are getting a little loosey-goosey.
This poor girl. Do you remember her boyfriend finally ended up like stomping into the location and was just like, "This is ridiculous. She's been laying here for 16 hours." He was all just up in arms.
Yeah, I think he wanted to beat up any girl
I think he wanted to
could
beat
get
up
his hands
any
on.
of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a fucked up situation, though. But low-budget movie making, there's always, I guess, moments
Well,
like
at least
that.
you got to lay down. You know.
Yeah. Lay down, put this over your face, and don't breathe.
And don't breathe.
For hours. She was just like, oh, okay. She was awesome. I mean, like, she did it, though, you know? I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'll send her a box of chocolates someday.
Hand job and $5.
That'd be good if she wasn't dead.
Oh, gosh. Remember the original video that we shot, Jay, with this same scene happening at the end?
Yeah. Oh man, there was a picture of Marty Scorsese at the top of
the head of the thing was just a framed photograph of Martin Scorsese.
And
God, I really wish I'm talking about the one thing that is probably now lost that I wish we could be on the DVD extras, the infamous Parker masturbation scene.
Oh fuck. That is hilarious. We basically used the scene
a
where
lot of time on our hands.
The scene where Jeremy is sawing the sandwich in half. Like, if you look at it in just the right way, it looks like he's playing with himself. And Ryan edited in sounds of the macaroni and cheese squishing around over it, and cut together a cute little extra scene.
Most of us here are almost 30.
This during the most depressing part of the film. Yeah. Wow. Like all my torment just thrown onto the screen. Yeah, we're talking about
for people to laugh.
Running a batch with some mac and cheese.
Yeah. Running a batch.
Oh my God.
Macaroni drawings.
I desire macaroni pictures.
I desire macaroni pictures.
Make it so.
Let's just talk about other people's stuff.
Well, this has been a bittersweet reunion.
Laughing at your own jokes.
I'm a big fan of me.
This shot was another genius. Another genius shot.
Move.
Yeah.
That's right.
Just like the camera not letting you see what's actually going on, but imagination does plenty of work on this one.
And the sound.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Ay, Dios mío.
no.
Yeah, that's some brutal stuff right there.
At what point? At what point did you add the scream at the beginning? Because it wasn't like that until very close to the end.
Pretty late in the game.
Cutting,
It was by the time I think it was maybe the Sundance cut, the cut we sent off to Sundance.
Yeah.
That was just an idea that came to me one night as if in a dream.
This is, of course, one of the best endings ever. Totally serious. It never fails to blow me away.
We actually had some cuts that were like a lot longer than this and just grueling to sit through because Angela just poured everything out in this one. We had a rough time shooting this scene.
Yeah, well, this was late. Was this late in the day? This had to have been towards the end.
It was about halfway through the day.
I
just kind of snapped a little bit. There was just a lot of stuff swirling around in the head and the heart.
Yeah.
On this one.
We originally had a Sonny and Cher song here, but no, I'm just kidding. No.
Yeah, totally.
So you originally had Cher in the role, didn't you? No. I love the eye falling, but
it gets a big laugh.
Yeah, that's the only
audience.
thing.
That's the one thing that kind of sucks.
It's always weird seeing it with different
with
crowds.
The crowds,
yeah.
That gives me goosebumps.
Seeing people.
Well, I think Adam, this is a question actually I didn't even know the answer to. Adam, Toby Hooper's writer, was asking me if at the end, if the creature actually is coming to life or if that's in her mind.
Well, that's kind of the same thing, though, because, the movie is totally subjective. The movie is, we're always with May, and if she believes it happened, then it did, Yeah. So it's the happy ending.
And the creepy song.
Yeah, 4-track recording.
Haunting me.
Marius and Scott.
Never met Eric Koskin.
Really?
Never met him.
Fantastic.
Richard Middleton.
Richard Middleton, though.
One of the deepest voices I've ever.
Yeah.
Richard Middleton.
Steve Yedlin.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Yes, it could.
You, Steve.
Ryan Johnson, Chris Sievertson.
Deborah got top billing.
Damn straight.
Yeah, and she was the last editor to come in.
There's the
and work on
key
the
in
film.
the house.
So wild. Marcel and Mariana were very talented and were also very absent. They were never on set.
All right, Jay.
Aw, yeah.
Shannon is the man.
Shannon is.
She sure is.
She is incredible.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
Casting director.
Oh my
total
God.
animal. She's
Absolute
like, Lucky,
beast.
you don't understand. I am May.
So great.
Yeah, she was awesome. She got us. Well, look at these names. She got us an awesome cast.
You know, now that the Tecate is kicking in, I think we should start over.
Totally. Sing some backup vocals.
Got you on family now.
God, yeah, we heard this song on the radio that claimed the chorus to the song is "Coochie, don't fail me now."
Wow.
So classy.
It's a course to my life. Are you still in touch with Chandler? What's she up to?
I haven't talked to
Girl?
Chandler for a little while.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to her. Quite a talented little girl, though.
You?
Brad Arnold.
That's a car.
Him doing the cat,
Justin
the
Stone.
cat dropping down.
Yeah.
More love to Justin Stone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I love you, Justin.
Drove all the way out from
President.
Missouri just to PA and work in the art department.
Oh, he was
like-
such a gem.
$2 a day and a 3-fingered hand job.
No doubt in my mind,
Yeah.
we'll all be back in here doing a what do you call it? Audio commentary on one of his movies.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
Sasquatch Dingle.
Yeah,
Squash
that's a classic. Eva Lose, that's the girl I was talking about, Leslie. That girl's awesome.
Eva
That makeup
Loves.
artist. She did the
Oh,
makeup
the
on the
reshoots.
reshoots. And
Yeah,
like
you
the,
told me
the
about her.
leg and
Kevin
stuff.
Ford. Got to give it up for Kevin
Yes,
Ford.
that's right.
Yeah.
Kevin Kev. Wow.
I don't remember the assistant editors.
Didn't they just? Because we actually.
Oh, there was one. Yeah, there was one girl that they hired on to come in nights and work out all the time code nonsense.
Yeah, it
for
was at the very end.
Yeah,
Joe
yeah,
Piscopo, set production assistant.
No.
The credits are always a little.
All right, full apologies to Michael Citizen Jr. God bless you, Mike. Did a great job.
I like these Jack and Jill credits. They just put these in.
Zach Passero.
Oh, great.
Did-
Yeah.
Give it up for
Yes.
Zach Passero.
Right.
I'm really glad you got you guys credit back in there. Sure.
Music supervision.
Even though it says Lucky McGee on music supervision, that's totally untrue. That was just Jay
Jay.
being really nice. It's all her. It's all her.
That's not true. That's not true.
This is you too.
Yeah.
Look at all
Well,
this.
not you too.
Look at this.
Bono.
813.
Bono on it. No,
You
it's
as well.
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
New Year's
great
Evil.
bands. Thrill My Wife.
Mike
Yeah.
McKee.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Screen
And
Actors
agents
Guild.
and
What?
people.
Where's that Ernest
John
Borgnine special thing?
Totally forgot. And it was just a special thanks for the hot dog scene in basketball. And for the Poseidon Adventure, which is fucking great.
Wow. I love how descriptive it is in describing what we could have done to the animals but didn't.
Yeah.
You see that? It's like no animals
We
are
swear we
blamed,
didn't.
nutted, or bloodied. Amazing.
Thank you for watching this.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Benji.
Glad to be here. happy to have taken part. I never meant to hurt you.
That's a wrap, folks.